Right now, I am very, very disappointed in so many people because every time, whether it's politics, everyday life, someone hates somebody offline or in real life, in real life and online, you have to play hero and do stuff like this. And I have already talked to RioluPuppy on DeviantArt. And I just feel this massive backstab. Yes, I have proof. I'm not going to show it in this video because I don't want to have to. But I did show it elsewhere. I did show it on Twitter. I filter her name out. I filter my name out because I'm not trying to get RioluPuppy in danger. I'm not. Doing that is not putting her in danger. But with what was said, that apology that you gave me, Rilo, it felt fake. And I'm like, I have to put my Goth Nebula videos on hold because of you. You know that, right? That Goth Nebula, like Sonic93, is a victim. Yes, both of them are victims. They're not the only victims in the world, but they're victims nonetheless. Both of them are victims of Dumbsville as well. They share one of the same abusers. And you made it so that I had to put it on hold because you ended up slandering my friend Root again, Root being Sonic93, and you acted like Moon just did nothing wrong. You didn't want to see that. You're selective. My reaction, I tell you this, my reaction in my video that I did before this one is much different from how I sound now because I realized it. You backstabbed me. And for what? Slowly, I was realizing it, and it hurt. For what? Why is it so important to do a damn video on Sonic93? What did she fucking do to you? What? You said you have autism, and you used that as an excuse to attack her. I know that you have autism, or at least I believe you do, but you used it as an excuse. I can feel that you're going through stuff, but you used her nonetheless as a punching bag. Why? It's how many years ago that stuff happened, and with this, you could have responded then. You didn't. And you could have talked to me about this. Look at this. Why didn't you say anything about Bag of Deuce? He harassed Sonic93. Bag of Deuce has a lot in this video that says red flag. Look at Dumbsville. He drew Dumbsville shooting her head off. How does that make you feel? Dumbsville, he approved of this. Look. Bag of Deuce drew himself wearing panties of Sonic93's face. Same video. All of this. He showed Sonic93 with a gun to her head, basically telling her to kill herself. With Silver as a hostage. Who's crazy? Sonic93 or Bag of Deuce? Bag of Deuce in Dumbsville, for this matter. Look at this. Bag of Deuce holding a gun, wanting to shoot Sonic93. I know these are self-inserts, but hence the name self-insert. Wishing harm. Right here. Being a pervert, closing in on Sonic93. I get it's a Super Strike 65 design of a former friend of hers, drew this, but still, self-insert. Then, cut away from his self-insert, you get a close-up of her self-insert's chest area in his video. Then, right here, Bag of Deuce staring as Sonic93 is getting it on with Silver. He drew her pretty detailed right here. So beautiful to look at because Bag of Deuce is a freaking creep, and so is Dumbsville. Dumbsville right here. Right here. Leaving this type of comment down here. I have this in how many videos? I'm not going to keep going back, searching for and right to provide so much of this evidence. You have to look for yourselves. I don't even see Bagaduce's comment right here. Delete it? With a question mark. Dumbsville goes, nice. No problem, man. At this point, I've come to the point where I've accepted that not all your heroes are heroes, lol. That stupid, generic, fake mascot sounding tone. It's part of growing up, literally that. Right. In my opinion, and I'm kind of glad I learned the way I did. No, you didn't learn. You got in trouble so many times, man, even after that point. So, Goth Nebula is somebody that I'm currently helping. And you do this. You defend Dumbsville, Amy-chan, other people. For what now? For what? Look at this. Dumbsville profiteering at the time off of Sonic93, off of my friend, because he knew people would want to donate to him and believe anything. What Amy-chan said is hearsay because you don't know Amy-chan, you don't know Sonic93, you don't know Dumbsville, you don't know Zombie Spartan. What if this is Sonic93 right here? I would say the same thing. You don't know Sonic93 to believe her when it comes to what happened between her and Amy-chan. I'm a middle grounder. Why the hell do you do this, Rilo? How can you ignore people like this who literally harassed Sonic93? Bagaduce being a sexual harasser and a creep. Wishing harm on her, wishing death and suicide. Here she is, me and her, talking at the time, back in 2023 especially, the same year that I think Moondis and Sonic93 made a video, and I think you made your video, but it's towards 2024. She and I, we were doing this. We were trying to help Goth Nebula. We set out to do that. One of my former friends, Bugsy, even though he made like so many videos to call out Sonic93 over nonsense that really wasn't her doing. We thanked him, basically. I thank him for showing a Goth Nebula video that Dumbsville did when he was obsessed with her. Dumbsville was still better somewhere, maybe. And then all of a sudden gave into fame. I don't know. Y'all are just, you were better somewhere before you did this, right? I don't know. Why'd you do this? Why you throw away your lives to be somebody you're not and then ruin other people's lives? And as for Bugsy, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have grown. He was like a true friend to me despite the lies he told me at some point. Even when it came to Sonic93, he apologized. He literally did. But you're still going after Sonic93, Rilo. And Goth Nebula. Right here. In response to this picture. Right here that Sonic93 had preserved. This fan art that someone did of Dumbsville creeping onto her character. She said, that's the one I was trying to describe to you the other day. She's saying this to me. That pic really hurt me and my fan character so much because that's out of character, out of context. My fan character would never look overwhelmed like that. I didn't know Root was truly defending me all this time. Tell her that it was very brave of her to defend me, and I thank her. I should have been the one to defend myself too, but I didn't because I was going through a lot of depression, anxiety, and trauma. This is cut off right here. But this is when we had a conversation. Right here. Read this, please, for yourself. You people are not stupid. Or are you? Why do you choose to be stupid if you are? What is so sexy and hot about being stupid? Please tell me. Because it's like Apple Jacks. You eat what you like, but it's not this bullshit. You say, do, and believe what you like. Why? Why do you do this? You're not defending Yoshui 1 or Akai Jane when you keep smearing their names to harass and slander Sonic93 or anybody else. The same applies to those who go after Goth Nebula. Victims like these for have lives like us, yet they're marketed by hate for entertainment. These kinds of victims get slandered, harassed, silenced, threatened, and weaponized by those seeking easy targets for their own escapism and fame, similar to political corruption. Yes, Rilo, what you're doing is also similar to political corruption. So many people in office doing what you're doing and pitting sides against one another. I don't like Republicans and Democrats being pit against one another over lies, especially. Even non political people deserve better. Any mistakes or wrongdoings victims make do not justify abuse towards them or collateral damage and indirect revenge towards their loved ones. In other words, Rilo, you're not even letting Sonic93 speak. In your video, I heard you said something about her what? In regards to Yoshua, that is, saying that she would rather be with the arpist, as an RAPIST, than to be with a creepy simp or a fanboy, something like that. It was something like that. It's in the video that I watched. I watched the whole thing, and I made a response, so I'm in the process of actually working on my description before I completely upload it. But the thing is, you also told Sonic93, or rather you suggested that she doesn't watch your video. And that shows me you're guilty. You don't want her to see how far you went. Look at this. Look at this. This is basically what Dumbsville is. This is what many people are. They're Mojo from the X-Men. They crave all the attention. This is Goth Nebula just telling me more of what Dumbsville did to her and what she did to other people. What he did to other people, excuse me. She's a Dumbsville victim, and you don't care what Dumbsville, Melody, or what others have actually done. You're like, they apologized already. They apologized already. And I'm just so tired of it. You have no excuse to go after my friend Sonic93. You're like a bunch of tiny imps who won't shut up. You are. So many people are getting killed in real life and stuff. And one of the things someone can say is, it's the internet. Well, guess what? It's kind of like how when the congressman asked a certain somebody who pays tariffs. And he made such a great point with that. People pay tariffs, right? So in this case, who uses the internet? Real people use the internet. It's the internet ain't a good quote. It's not a good excuse because people use the internet. So people matter. Your actions matter. What you do to other people matter on the internet. Cut that bullshit out, people. And as for you, Rilo, you damaged Sonic93 yet again. You're damaging yourself too. Why do this? I'm sick of it. I have every right to be mad at you. I know I said that you said you have autism. I'm not going by that. I'm going by your actions. You're taking advantage of your own label to do this stuff. Why? How dare you? I'm going to show the next video when it's uploaded. Anybody who sees this, you know who RioluPuppy is? If I said Goth Nebula by accident, I'm sorry, because I'm supposed to be doing a video on her. If you know who RioluPuppy is, please tell her to stop. Please get her out of this situation completely. Get her to take the video down. And if you don't, tell her to please make an apology to Sonic93 if you're sincere. Because when you did, it felt fake. You're telling me your apology to her and apology to me are fake, Rilo. I don't want anyone getting hurt. I'm tired of it. When you make call-out videos, think about why you're doing it. Are you doing this to protect yourself and other people? Don't sit there and pretend you are. Don't make up an excuse. Are you? Are you people doing that? Or are you doing it, because of your audience? Because someone's pressuring you? Or because you want attention? Think about it. When you lie to your audience, Rilo, this also counts for you too. When you lie to your audience, you are the ones living with those lies. The reason why it doesn't affect me is because I ain't lying. The difference between you and me is that I actually care about people's safety. And I don't really care about fame. I don't. I care about getting stuff done. I know I'm not perfect. But this shit needs to stop. You literally offended a Dumbsville victim. How do you feel, Rilo? See you whenever. In the next video, I guess.